I am entering new worlds. Each time you go to sleep for 60 breaths, your soul leaves your body and it travels up to the appropriate world where you can exchange it or it's exchanged for you. The next soul level that you're supposed to manifest in the flesh and to help raise. The entire benefit of life is that it raises the soul spark that you received while you were asleep in the spiritual worlds. It's a potential that needs to be exercised in the physical domains. Remember, there are 5 worlds. You receive a spark in each one of these 5 worlds, in one of the 5 worlds, or whatever. I don't know. Do you have a potential each day to raise 5 levels of that soul that you're receiving, or 5 levels of that spark, or only 1 level? I don't know. But there are thousands of worlds. That's why the Aleph is an Aleph. It's 1,000. So when you enter into the world of the Aleph, you're entering into the 1,000 worlds, into deep cognition, beyond cognition, beyond intellect, to the spiritual domain of the breath. And when you're in this level, you have to translate from the spiritual domain into the intellectual domain. Remember, it's 60 breaths. The breath is the intuitive body which transcends and is beyond the intellect. We're taught all the time here and held back by thinking that the intellect is the big deal. To know what you're doing. That's K-N-O-W. But basically, it's to know what you're doing. It's an N-O. Don't know, K-N-O-W, N-O, what you're doing. I like this. I'm getting off on this. N-O, know. Remember, there's a thing called Radla, the head that is not a head and is unknown and cannot be known. It's a chicken without a head, still living, but cannot be known. See? But in school, you know, that SAT and your grades are depending on knowledge, knowledge, N-O-ledge. Because if you focus in on K-N-O-W-L-E, you're going to get no result. Just tick-tock. Time goes away. And you get a nice diploma and job. Happy man. As I enter into these spiritual worlds, into a potential that appears to appear in the transition from sleep to wakefulness. Ben Hashamashot. Between the states, everything is like transition states. between the states, borders, so to speak. That's why we have, borders on our 48 states here, 50 states. Demarcations as you cross from one transition to another. There's another, when you fall asleep, you're dying, because sleep is considered 1/60th of death. And people don't know this, but the Sufi maxim of die before you die really comes out of the Jewish opus. But they use the word odd, not odd, aleph, ayin dalet, like ed, like die until you die. They don't say die, die before you die. They say die until you die. That means each day is a minuscule death. You see? It's 1/60th of each time. So after the first death, you're 1/60th dead, and then it's 1/60th of that. It's like going down a line towards death. And so when you go to sleep, you enter into this 1/60th, this Aleph and the Samech, the Rosh Tivo of Ein Sof, 1/60th. And you enter into this world. And this is the potential world. It's the sleep world. It's what you do when you go to sleep until you wake up. It's basically 1/3 of your life that isn't really, analyzed. We kind of put that on the back burner and do nothing with it or about it. Wouldn't it be funny if sleep was the real deal? You got all your information up at sleep and came back and exercised it in life, in the material plane. And one of the great secrets is the midnight tikkun in Judaism, where you're supposed to wake up like at midnight, the halakhic midnight, in the middle of the night. And if you try it a few times, you'll see you'll be really in a spiritual mood, because it'll be quiet, it'll be hoshek, dark, won't be so many people around, no school teachers, they're all sleeping, so they can get ready to yell at you in the morning. Your bosses are sleeping too. So this is a propitious time to work and to meditate and because as soon as you wake up, even if it's in the middle of the night, you've received that soul. You've received a soul that you're supposed to work on. It'll be shown to you. And there are thousands of worlds. And each world has an infinite number of sparks. And in a certain sense, this is the work, the oisek of living, to experience and raise these sparks in a physical domain. Start with the Aleph as the one. Aleph is one. See how it manifests. Meditate on the Aleph with a yud on top, a vav slanted to the left slightly in the middle, and a yud on the bottom. See how that brings you into the body with right arm, left arm, and a spine. It's a function of two similar things, yud yud, and a spine, which certainly looks like the vav. So if you meditate as the aleph, as a man, that'll get you into the aleph, the 1,000 worlds. And when you're finished with those 1,000 worlds, then come speak to me again. You'll never get out of the aleph. You see? And this is the beauty of all. Bring back everything to the midnight tikkun, the middle of the night. When you cry for the destruction of the temples, and that we're in Golus. And it's Hoshech, as opposed to Or. This morning when I woke up, I was exposed to a certain level of Or. So meditate for a while on Hoshek and Or. See how the Hoshek can lead you to the field where the Or is discovered. That's Or. Like gold ore, no. Or, light, or. And what will give you that ore? Now I'm starting to talk like mystic talk. It'll lead you, but I'm not going to state it for you. And that's why all the mystic books are like this. So, as nighttime approaches, I look forward to my 160th of death. I look forward to receive the next spark. And before I go to sleep, this is a new Hiddush of mine, I do an activity I call the mamish, the real, the reality, the real. I enter into what I call the mamish, and I say, did I do today and explore everything I could with the soul that was given me for today? And as I leave this soul today, I want to receive tomorrow, I will receive tomorrow, hopefully, spark of deep enlightenment that I'm worthy of because of my activity. And I look forward to being able to actualize, materialize in the field, which I'll be talking about, and how to access that field. What I'm given while I sleep and wake.